Good morning, Reds. Welcome back to the Kop TV, the voice of football's most famous stand. And remember, smash that like button. Let's get your comments in. A really juicy show today.
Proper big one,
not just on Liverpool, but on the Man City Arsenal game as well. Subscribe if you haven't already. Let's give you a live subscriber count, shall we? We are 6 subscribers away from 46k. Six. Just 6. Bless you. Bless you. Any more?
There we go. No, there we go too. Thank you. Sorry, guys.
I'm here with Doyle, as you can see.
I'm a little bit sick today. That's how already you can see. Yeah, a little bit.
I've been with you all weekend.
Yeah, and I've got it from you probably, Bod.
I'm not ill.
Yeah. You sure?
Yeah. I'm really good.
Yeah.
Big up to Doyle. We were at the game on Saturday. Beautiful
Boss
day.
weekend.
What
weekend.
a day.
We had
What
a
a
great
weekend.
time, you know.
The sun was shining until full time.
And we haven't had a weekend together for a while, have we? Like a proper, just us two lads, just doing what we do, following the footy and that lad.
No, we had an absolutely great weekend, to be fair. All made better by LFC Retail and the hospitality package that we were given. Again, if you haven't seen the content that we made, it's on the Kop TV's Instagram, Doyle's Instagram, and mine. Yeah. So make sure you go and watch that. We had a great time, right?
Boss. We had a steak and a prosecco at like 12 o'clock, and then you know what I mean. Like, what do you want? What more?
And
do you
a
want?
scouse.
Yeah, a little bit of scouse, a little bit of bread and that.
Some couscous, some salad. Yeah, no, it was beautiful.
Sticky
and then we jumped in the coach and headed down to Anfield and took our seats in the Anfield Road end and
which
watched
were
a
boss
great
seats.
Football match.
How good were them seats, lad?
Great.
Like,
It's the first time I've sat in the new stand.
Same.
And yes, you're high up, but I think there's something to be said about being, because normally I sit right behind the Kop, second row, and you don't, I mean, to get that kind of high up view, even though you are technically behind the goal, I thought it was really refreshing.
I loved it. Brother,
I really enjoyed it.
I was surprised by how much I really liked it, because what you said, I've been in them exact seats what you're talking about, because I get tickets off Gilly sometimes, and it's right behind the goal, and it's glorious, right? Because you can almost touch the players. You're that close.
Smell them.
It's boss.
You can abuse them if you want.
Yeah.
The away team.
But you can see them close up, but when you're above everything, it's almost like a game of FIFA in a way, isn't it, lads? You can see the entire pitch. All the goals were scored on our end as well, which was just glorious. We got to see, we'll talk about it in a bit more in depth, but we got to see Darwin's goal in all its glory, mate, in that angle. It was insane. Like, I just really enjoyed the seats altogether, to be honest with you. I never usually like being on one side of the pitch. I liked being on the side, but they were boss. And I'm not even just saying that because we've done it now. Yeah, it's done. But they were that good. They were boss.
Yeah, no, it was a really special day out, and then obviously we had a good time after as well. Got some scran.
Yeah, just chilled.
Had the leftover scran yesterday.
Had a little dual go of FIFA, and then we won a few games and that with Leverkusen.
Leverkusen,
decent. You know.
I just think, I don't know about you guys, but there's something a bit stale about using Liverpool on FIFA or FC25.
What's he talking about, lads?
No, but don't get me wrong, I love them. But I also like challenging myself and using different teams.
There was a FIFA that I played about 3 years ago, and I never went a single team other than Liverpool. I just couldn't be bothered.
FIFA 11, this sounds weird. FIFA 11, my team was West Brom. What? Do you know why? Chris Brunt in midfield, hammer of a left foot. I think Shane Long had 92 pace. Play him in, mate.
Who's the manager? Mikel Arteta?
No, I think it was Pulis.
Michael Pulis Arteta.
Let us know again. Like, I think this FC, I've been using Real Betis a lot, Leverkusen. So let us know if you use random teams on FC.
Leverkusen is the one that we've been using. I like that one.
Yeah. Shout out to the Reds, who obviously made it a very enjoyable day for everyone. On Saturday, we'll speak about the game first. Then we go into Trent's quotes. And then we go into Bernardo Silva's quotes.
Which are quite nice.
Which
actually,
are nasty
for once.
if you're an Arsenal fan. And he must be rattled if he's complimenting Liverpool, because we hate the fella.
Yeah, we hate him.
We hate the
fella. And
he hates us. He didn't give us a guard of honour.
Didn't clap,
no. All right, cool.
Always talk smoke about us, lads. So much smoke.
We will see what he said shortly. Let's go to the game, though. I mean, first 5 minutes, I'll be honest, were really bad.
Yeah.
Again. Yeah. You know, just like the Milan game, we conceded. Semenyo, who scored at Anfield last year in the 3rd minute, scored again in the 3rd minute. Yep. This year we didn't learn.
Carbon copy almost.
Carbon copy goal. Probably half a yard offside. I mean, from where we were sitting though,
it didn't
we'd accepted that we were 1-0 down, and we said we're going to have to come back again. And I think I don't want to call it a problem, but it's an advantage and a disadvantage sometimes not having the big screen at Anfield. You know, Robbie always complains about it whenever he comes to Old Trafford or Anfield. He says, "Where's your big screen for the replays?" I think if we had a big screen and it played the replay, or we were at least in the circle of knowing what's going on, we would have, maybe presumed that goal wouldn't have stood. But the flag went up, it was offside, and then after that period, because Bournemouth did start really well, it was just total domination from Liverpool.
Don't mind, they're having a big screen, by the way. You're there watching the football, lad. You don't need to watch
I'm cool without it. Yeah, we're not in a pub.
We're there in the moment together.
But you do. I know what he's saying though. You do miss out on some things sometimes. But yeah, listen. It was the first goal that went in was after a period where. Do you remember, right? It was 0-0. It was about 25 minutes in, and you said, lad. And I went, we'll score before half. I said, because Kepa made two great saves from Diaz after a sloppy start. He was giving the ball away a lot. And I said, what did I say to you? You remind me of what I said.
I said, we're going to win 3-0, lad.
No.
2-0.
I said, we're going to score before half time. And you went, lad. 1 minute later, Luis Diaz gets the first goal. And then 2 minutes after that, he gets another goal. And then 10 minutes after that, Darwin gets his goal. But we'll start off with Lewis, because that is now 5 goals already for the season. And I wanted to give you an update on how our strikers are doing. So Salah, 3 goals and 4 assists in 6 games. Diaz, 5 goals and 1 assist in 6 games. Diogo Jota, goal and an assist. Darwin Nunez, goal. Gakpo, assist. So that's 17 goals and assists in 6 games to start the season for Liverpool's attack. Everyone is now on the board. They're all involved now with the weekend. And it could have been better. Nunez could have scored another one. Salah's obviously missed some chances as well. But are you happy with how the 6, we'll call them the 6 now, are you happy with how the 6 have started?
Yeah. I think Darwin took his chance when he come on. The only one that I'm actually a little bit disappointed in, which is really strange to say, Jota.
Yeah.
He's had a bit of a flat few performances. I don't think he's used to actually starting games, to be quite honest with you. I think that's what it is. He usually comes on about the 60th minute, as a finish, gets us the win usually, lad. It's not his thing. Usually Darwin's been starting. So, other than that, lad, very happy. I would like to see Mo Salah. I don't know what it was. He started the season really great, lad, but in the last 2 games, he's just been hitting the posts. He's been having loads of chances, not quite striking it. I can't put my finger on exactly what it is.
And there's a shade of unluckiness about that. No one plans to hit the post. No one plans to hit the bar.
Course.
But I know what you mean, right? Because in the Bournemouth game, just
that Ali Macher pass for Salah to be 1-on-1. I've seen him slot that near post 20 million times, lad, and he just didn't seem to do it. Or
it was a weak shot.
Or Kepa read him, because you know what he goes to open his body up like he's going to go far post, and he always hits it near post. So maybe Kepa's just watched a load of videos, which you would expect because he's a professional goalkeeper. But having said that, he still offers. He's still there. He's still an outlet for the midfielders and the defenders. So I'm happy with him still. Over the moon, like what? 3 goals and 4 assists.
Yeah,
that's boss. That's the best in the team so far for goal contributions.
Yeah, for sure. Well, yeah, him and Diaz.
So made up with him. I just would like to see him get them finishes that I know he does in the back of the net.
I actually think, I know pre-season goals don't count, but in that game against Sevilla, Diaz scores 2 unbelievable goals in that game. So the way he started, I think this is the Diaz that we've all been waiting to see. This is the Porto Diaz, right? We know that the Portuguese league is easier, and he scored a bucket full of goals.
Diaz, lad.
I mean, it's such a good start from him, and it's got to the point now, I mentioned it in the fan cams, where if he's through on goal, or at least maybe there's 2 fellas up against him, last season we went from he can beat the 2 guys, but can he finish or deliver the assist? And more often than not, it wasn't the case last season. But this season, the shift that I've seen off the back of a great Copa America as well with Colombia, the likelihood of him scoring these chances now has tripled, maybe, right? The stats will tell you as well, but from a fan eye perspective, right, because the eye test is more important than any stats you're going to read, how confident are you now compared to last season when you see Luis Diaz, right, facing up 2 guys? Obviously, we know he can beat 3 or 4 as he did at the weekend, but how confident are you now compared to last season when you see him with a big goal-scoring opportunity?
Not much more to say, really, than what you just said. Colombia have been fantastic. He's taking the form on from there. I'm super confident in him, lad. He is one of the best in the league at 1-on-1s, without doubt, and he was last season. Now he's coupled it with clinical finishing.
which is a dangerous combination, isn't it?
What more do you want from a winger, lad? That's
Nothing,
complete.
really.
Maybe get back a little bit more, but even so, I don't want you to do that if you're scoring that many goals and taking that many men on, lad, and creating that much.
Robbo's a top defender, so you almost leave him to do his thing, right?
Very happy, lad. 100% happy that he's going to do something in that game. He had 2 chances that he could have scored earlier in the game. Probably should have passed one of them.
Yeah.
But if he's scoring 2 goals after, it's all right. You can get away with that type of stuff, right? Especially in the game where we went 3-0 against Bournemouth.
Yeah, no, I'm so happy with Luis Diaz, and you know, for him to have started the season this well. I mean, I think he got 8 goals in the Prem last year. He's on 5 already. Yeah. And you know, he didn't even start the Milan game, so who knows what
he's been remembered, hasn't he, last season for like the clinical misses that he had against City and stuff, right? Where he was 1-on-1, he could have scored that. So I think he's taking the criticism he's taking the constructive feedback on board. And now he's just confident. He seems to be passing a little bit more into the net rather than slamming it into the net. Do you get what I mean? Same with what Nunez finish was as well. Yeah, just a bit of finesse to it, lad. Because he's got so much energy. He's just picking his head up a little bit more and just slotting it in, lad. Because when he's running, you see he does have his head down a lot, and that's part of his strength, right? Because he's great at the one-on-ones. He knows where the feet are and all that. But I think that's why he was hindered a little bit when his finishing was coming to it, because he was a bit erratic.
Yeah.
Now he's got some composure, like you said. This is Luis Diaz in Porto. I think this is a better version of Luis Diaz. This is the best version he's delivered in the football so far in his career, in my opinion. This is exceptional, lad. Top level, world class type of wing play, lad.
That's my next question. Is he the best left winger in the Premier League right now on form?
In the first 5 games, yes. That would be. You can't say he's not.
Saying, I think, really.
Yeah. You can't say Doku's better. You can't say Martinelli's better. You can't say who else. Give me another one. Say in the comments who you think's better than Luis Diaz right now in left wing. Matoma's brilliant. I love Matoma.
Yeah,
fantastic. But again, the form that Lucho's been in right now, in the first 5 games, he's the best left winger in the league so far.
Martinelli's been non-existent this season. Doku, no goals, or maybe one.
Better than Grealish as well, lad.
Of course. Yeah, it has to be Luis Diaz. Well, let me ask you this: is Luis Diaz the best winger in Europe right now?
Oh, that's a big one.
That's a big question, right?
No.
Who's better?
Vinny Jr., bro.
No, but on the left-hand side.
Vinny Jr. plays on the left-hand side.
Vinny over Diaz?
Yeah. Vinny's incredible, brother.
I'm not doubting that. Yeah. He is. But right now in this minute.
Vinny still. Sorry.
Really?
Yeah, bro.
No, listen, that's what this show's for. Let us know. This is a hot topic that we're now discussing. Luis Diaz, is he the best winger in Europe right now as we speak, as we sit around this table?
Right now he's the best in the Prem.
Is he the best? So he gets 2, and then Darwin Nunez. I mean, bro, the happiness that I had for that fella. I mean, I was standing next to you. Your face was in disbelief when he scored. But for me, it's not just the finish, which is unexpected. The likelihood of him scoring is super low from that angle.
Weak foot.
No one expected it. He's low on confidence. But for me, the beautiful thing that I saw in that goal was it's a Canate ball, which is a semi-hopeful pass. There's no real end point to it. He kind of clears it / whips it down the line to get away from trouble. And Nunez has obviously seen Salah on the inside, and to jump and angle that header in the inside, that's no easy feat, bro, because he's jumped up, heads it down to Salah, and before Salah's even got the ball, he's already making that 1-2 run.
Yeah.
And then the pass from, I think actually that's the best thing Salah did the whole game.
His right foot as well.
That right-footed pass right into him. But even still, so much work to do and still little support. Because he's so quick, Salah wasn't ready for the cutback. Diaz wasn't even up there yet. So in his brain, and what I'm trying to figure out, and maybe you can help me, is when he gets that ball, because it, like we've all seen, right, it really wasn't in a favourable position to shoot. When he gets that ball, the defender's thinking he's right-footed. He's probably going to try and take me down the line and then cut it back. Yeah. But for him to go in on his left foot, the defender just says, well, that's no problem because you're not left-footed. You're not going to do anything from that angle. And it's almost like he's looked up and gone, no one's there ready. Yeah. And it is I'm not going to say it's like it is a finesse finish, but I do think
there's loads of power behind it still.
There's loads of power, but he's kind of just, is it a hit and hope shot?
No, he knows what he's doing. He's aiming for where he's aimed, and it's went exactly where he's aimed.
Right.
The problem with it is he does that a lot of times, and it doesn't. And
I think that's why I'm asking
you don't
the question.
Trust it. That was a cultured finish. Is what you didn't want to say. Is it was a cultured finish, but it was. It's just that he doesn't do them often enough to say you're a cultured player. Right. And I get what you're saying. Yeah. But what I loved about that was between Salah and him, he must have been about 7, 8 touches before the goal goes in, and that's Arne Slot. That's exactly what he wants from his players: efficiency in forward play. So we have 1 Nunez, 1 Salah picks her up on the touch. That's the third one. Another one to tuck it in. 4 coming back in here. 5 on the shot or 6 on the shot. That's exceptional efficiency, lad.
Well, from Konate clearing it to that in 5-6 touches,
incredible, lad.
The economy on that
like 2
is
seconds, lad.
incredible.
I love the fact, this is what we like about Darwin, right? Even though he's low on confidence, he still seems to turn up for himself. He's like, I back myself to score this goal from this angle on my weak foot, and he did. And the way we seen it on the angle, the ball floated for a long
We almost
time.
had the best view of it, actually.
It was insane, lad. It was like...
It starts well outside the post,
And then it hit the post and going in, and we're just looking at each other like, how has he managed to find the space there? And like, don't get me wrong, like, I don't think Kepa's the best goalkeeper in the world, but he did have an alright game in periods. He saved a few decent shots, so that's a shot that he could save from that angle, but he wasn't, because it was just exceptionally executed.
It was perfect.
It was exactly that.
Do you know what? When you're in the ground sometimes, I think the noise that you hear from the Diaz 2 goals was what you call a standard crowd noise. But the noise that we heard for Darwin's was like,
what the hell?
It was like, oh! Yeah. It wasn't like, yes. It was like, what's just happened? It was a different kind of feeling. And now, after that Salah assist for Darwin, I think now they share 13 assists between them, Darwin and Mo. And that is the same as Suarez and Sturridge had for each other.
Bro, you can see it with them too. I said it to you before the start.
That's 13 assists between them now.
How Salah runs down the wing and Nunez will often cut into his path here, and he can do like an outside pass with his right, Salah. That link up has happened so many times, and he's just whipped it in the bottom corner. So many times, lad. Or Salah will look for the outside of the boot shot pass, and Nunez runs onto it, lad. It's happened so much, and you can see that there's energy there. I think Mo Salah respects the pace that he's got, knows that he can rely on him to get the ball back if he wants it. And yeah, it's the builder play like that, what we just seen with Konate. That's what Mo Salah trusts Nunez to do. And you love to see it, don't you? That's exactly what we want, brother.
I was shocked at that stat, because
I'm not
we know he's been here for two full seasons, and now this is his 3rd season, but we know that Darwin did get double figures for assists as well last year, which I think maybe goes under the radar. But I agree. I think Salah looks at him and thinks, you know, the pace that he's got, that can help me.
Exactly.
That can actually help me.
Salah is not where he is because he's the best footballer in the world. He's there because he's got one of the best footballing minds, lad. Believe me.
Here's a question. Great question I just thought of, if I don't mind saying so myself.
Go on.
If you're Mo Salah, who do you think he prefers playing as the number 9, Jota or Nunez?
Oh, I reckon Nunez.
Really?
Yeah, I do. He offers him more support, lad. I think that it's exactly what we just said. He's like,
it's interesting to think of that from his perspective.
I get it though, lad. Basically, you've got Jota as a finisher, lad, but he doesn't offer so much more. He's great in the box, lad, but everywhere else he doesn't really offer that much. Nunez is the exact opposite.
Yeah, defending all over
the pitch,
at left back,
lad. Yeah, all over. Like honestly, the attitude that he's got is exceptional. Sometimes, lad. You watch him. We've seen him at left back, as you're saying. But yeah, I think he appreciates the work rate that Nunez brings and knows how much that can help him to get the finishes that he needs. Whereas when Jota's on and Salah's on, they're both trying to do the same result. They're both trying to get the finish. And you can just tell with the partnership already, if they've got them stats, that's who Salah likes to play with, lad. Plus Salah's getting on a little bit, right? He hasn't got the same pace that he used to. He's not slow, but he doesn't have the same pace that he used to. So he's utilising Nunez's energy, lad, without a doubt.
Yeah.
And I also think he's sort of being a guiding force for Nunez, lad, taking him under his wing a little bit, saying, you know, like, keep going, lad, keep going, I'll give you the ball. Like, trust him.
I totally agree. I think he looks at that team sheet, and if Nunez is there, he knows he can get a bit more of a link
the work rate, lad.
And the work rate is there, the determinant. Like, whatever you want to say about Darwin Nunez, right, and we've heard it all before, I do think he's, you know, we've seen him delete his Liverpool posts off Instagram. We've seen him be in really low points for Liverpool. But the one thing that even the biggest anti-Nunez Liverpool fan out there could not say is dispute his attitude. That man will try, and good on him, because look, he tried the exceptional and he scored, and you can see what it means to him. There was tears in his eyes, bro. Yeah. He almost couldn't believe he scored that goal.
Oh, sad, innit?
He couldn't believe he scored that goal. And I think now, going into this West Ham game, Nunez starts for me.
I agree.
For sure, and we'll get on to the West Ham preview in a bit.
He had the best performance in that last game against Bournemouth than Jota did against AC Milan and the team before, Nottingham Forest as well, lad. He just did. I think if we had somebody like Nunez on earlier against Nottingham Forest, we probably had a bit more energy and a bit more...
I agree.
Yeah, in the top of the field to close the ball down, so... Yeah, start him, lads, without a doubt.
Yeah, and listen, it came after a Nunez shot with his left foot that wasn't great.
I know.
Right, which Kepa did save, but to pull that one out the bag.
Ridiculous.
Big up to Darwin Nunez, right? Because he gets mocked, he gets criticised, he gets made the butt of jokes. But for me, he was sensational for that goal, and he totally deserves it.
Tenacity and resilience is his biggest attribute, right? Yeah. That's what it is.
And without that, you need obviously the talent and the skill, but without the perseverance, the attitude, that's the key word, the attitude.
Yeah.
You won't get anywhere.
He'd whimper away, mate. He'd fade into nothingness and wouldn't be bothered, but he's fighting back. Lad,
Fight.
Yeah.
Big up to you. And look, with Jota out for the last couple of games through bad form, this is your chance. I said it the other week, right? If you're a Liverpool number 9, you shouldn't really be going more than 2 games without scoring. With the chances we create,
I agree.
The players around you, Diaz and Salah next to you, you should not really, if you're positioned obviously in the box,
every 2 games for you,
you have to be. You can't go 2 games without scoring. And if you get 2 assists in each of those games, then you carry on.
Yeah.
But Jota didn't score for 2 games. He's out. Didn't even come on as a sub. So Darwin, he's taken his chance. And it's not like we're saying that we prefer Darwin to play over Jota. No. Whoever gets that chance, we're fully behind them, and we want them to take it.
Yeah.
In an ideal world, Jota scores every game. In an ideal world, Nunez scores every game. But because we've got so many options, if you don't score, you're looking over your shoulder in training. You already know you're not starting.
This is why Gakpo,
and that's competition.
It's the same with Gakpo, right? I love Gakpo. I think he's an exceptional player, and you've seen it for Netherlands in that left wing position. But Lucho's playing that well. Unfortunately, he can't get into the team, lad. That's just the way it is right now, so it's based on form. But the second Lucho drops off, Gakpo gets straight in there, lad. You need that. You have to have that competition in the team. It's important when you're playing against teams like City, who've got 22 players. This is what you need. So I'm happy with that, lads. No problem with that.
And look, as we said in the fan cams, it could have been 6-0, it could have been 7-0.
Curtis had one at the end and everything, didn't
Curtis had one. Chiesa had a great shot on goal with his first touch. Salah hit the post. Kelleher, we have to mention him. Brilliant performance. I mean, cleared off the line. It would have gone down as a Trent own goal. Made a really clever save, kind of at his near post, which we heard the ball slap that glove.
Yeah, it was
and we were quite far away. So shout out to Quivine as well, because again, just like Darwin, he's another one that is waiting patiently in the wings. We've heard him say he wanted to move last year to be the number 1 somewhere else, and we agree with him.
Yeah, I agree. He's
but
not a
when
second
he does play
anymore
for us, bro,
he's a first choice goalkeeper, lad.
Bro.
I think he's actually better than some of the goalkeepers in the Premier League right now.
He's the best number 2, I think, in the league in Europe.
He probably is, yeah.
Yeah,
he's incredible.
I love him. I absolutely love him. And again, could have won more, but the clean sheet's important as well. And
he's probably going to leave next season, lad. So just utilise everything that we can with him this season, lad.
Yeah.
Especially with Ali injury prone.
Right, that's the game itself. Let's move on to the Trent quotes that we heard this morning, right? And it's an interview with James Pearce. I'll give you a couple of quotes that he said, and then you take it from there. On his future, he says, "I want to win trophies. I'm a player who is highly motivated by winning things and being elite. That's probably the main factor of anything. If you have a personality that's elite, who wants to win and will do anything to win, then that's what drives them." He went on to say that he's spoken to Arne Slot. Yeah. He said, "We kind of talked about targets and aims, and I said to him that I would like to be the defender that no one wants to come up against in Europe." He went on to say that he wants to be Liverpool captain. He said, "It's really refreshing to have a manager who will help and guide and teach me how to be better." He also went on to say that we agreed between myself and Arne, we agreed that he will be harsh on me, right? Which I think is tough love. If Arne Slot comes over and maybe doesn't mention the 2 assists you got and says you could have done better here, you will improve. You will not improve if he comes over and goes, "What an assist. Don't need to do anything. You're the man."
I don't think it's quite that. I think it's another way. You need positive reinforcement.
There's also the quote where he says he wants to win the top trophies, which is obvious. Obviously, Real Madrid win a lot of trophies. But to conclude his quotes, he says he's been at Liverpool for 20 years now. I've signed 4 or 5 contract extensions, and none of them have been spoken about in public. This one won't be either. Anytime an attacker gets past me, he will call it out in our meetings and say this cannot happen. We go through every game together in highlights where he wants me to improve. But he did say, I always said I want to be captain of Liverpool. That's an aim of mine and a goal of mine. Whether that happens is out of my hands, to be honest. And this was after he got his 100-goal contribution for Liverpool, 19 goals and 81 assists for a defender at the age of 25. He did say, I will be a Liverpool player this season.
He said this season?
Yeah, he said, I can say that, is that I will be a Liverpool player this season, but he did go on to say he wants to win the top trophies, which is fine because he's played 3 Champions League finals for Liverpool. So there's a couple of ways you can look at this, right? He says, trophies are an important factor. I want to be a Liverpool player this season as the minimum. That's what I'll say. So he's keeping his cards quite close to his chest still. I look at it and go, you want to be the captain, you want to improve, you're working with the new manager to get the best out of you. I would actually disagree with him. He says it's in the club's hands. I would say it's in his hands. So if he wants to be Liverpool captain, you can. The current captain's 33.
Maybe not. You can't take it off Air Jordan right now.
But the current captain's 33. He's 25. If you sign a new contract, within that contract, at some point, you will become the Liverpool captain.
Definitely.
I disagree with him. I think it is in his hands. But how do you look at this door? Do you think he's leaving the door ajar to go to Madrid? He's not really saying it out loud, but he's also saying, I've been here for 20 years. I want to be the captain. I want to be the best defender in Europe. If you could percent it, what percent is he stays and signs or he leaves at the end of the season?
60-40 Liverpool.
In our favour.
That Real Madrid offer is too good to not look at, lad.
No,
the players that they've all just bought with a new generation of talent, like they're all young. Trent's age, yeah. He fits in perfectly to that team, lad. There is no better right back for Real Madrid to buy right now for their team in the world. Yeah. He'll do well. He's got mates in that team. I think he's basically saying, these are all the things that I'd like to do with Liverpool in an ideal world if we're successful. If we're not, though, I'm leaving the door open because I want to win trophies. That's what I think he's actually saying right there, lads. We've got to give him success. I told you, he doesn't owe Liverpool anything anymore. He's paid his dues. He's won everything for us. He's been exceptional, right? Even if he left now, he'd still be a legend of the Liverpool Football Club. We owe him success. And the only person that can do that is Arne Slot. He does. We've got to show him that we can win these big trophies that he wants. He can be the captain of a Liverpool team that's winning Champions Leagues, Premier Leagues, whatever, right? That's the only way we keep him. That's it, really. He's motivated. He's just told us, I'm motivated by trophies, so give me them. That's what I'm seeing, lad.
And he didn't bring on Conor Bradley around the 70th minute.
I told you,
he kept him on.
I think that was Arne Slot is trying to do some real strong man management here. He done the same for Salah as well. He kept Salah on, didn't he, lad? So I think he's trying to say, I trust you, boys. Yeah, because Salah was not scoring, but he was still saying, I'm going to keep you on, lad, because I know you're the type of player that can score any minute of the game anyway. I'm going to keep you on, Trent, because I know you're the type of player that can assist any minute of the game anyway, lad. So I like it. He's not taking the same players off all the time. He's trying to give different opportunities, and he's trying to trust his individuals in the team. It's scary, lad.
It's a little bit scary. It's a bit. I mean, you can take it in so many ways. People are taking it saying he's going to Madrid. People are saying, well, he said he wants to be the captain. He said he wants to improve. I'm torn. But at home, what do you think, right? After these quotes, after we've read them out, after you've read them at home, probably before we've even read them out this morning, how do you take the latest Trent quotes? Because now he's got 59 assists in the Prem, which is equal with Andy Robertson, the highest ever assist for a defender. To put it into context, the most assists for Liverpool in Premier League history, Stevie G 92, Mo Salah 72, and Trent 59. He's third, and he's 25 and he's a defender. It's just
the clear answer is, and this is the plain one, if he hasn't said I want to stay at Liverpool for the next 5 years, he's give a different answer.
But he's left it open.
That's reality of what we're talking about right now.
He's left it open.
If he wanted to stay at Liverpool, that's what he says. He hasn't. So he's leaving the door open for other opportunities, which is fine because he's one of the best players in the world, and we owe him to bring him success. Simple as that. So that's what our team has got to do for him because he's phenomenal, one of the best in the world.
Someone on Twitter has said, just like Salah's interview after United, Trent's interview is 100% a come and get me plea. He doesn't want to go, but he's putting pressure on Hughes and the club to sort out the contract. It's on us for leaving it so late. And if they want them to stay, you have to do what it takes.
You got to pay him well. You're going to have to give him big money because he's the best in the world at his position, lad. He is. There's a reason why Kylian Mbappe went to Real Madrid. He won loads with PSG, but he couldn't get that Champions League. Why did he go to Real Madrid? So we can get that Champions League, lad.
Yeah. The only line that I don't like is I want to be a Liverpool player this season is what I will scary. Say. That's a little bit scary, you, lad, isn't it?
The plain and simple answer is if he doesn't say I want to be a Liverpool player for the next so many years, he's leaving the door open. That's the reality. So we have to show him why we're the better project.
And when he says it's down to the club, it is down to us to offer him the new deal. But also, as much as that is the onus is on Liverpool, if he wants to be the captain, sign the contract and you will become the captain. I think it is as simple as that.
It is.
So it's a tough one, man. I mean, it gets brought up every week and he's playing so well. He started the season so well. And when you compare his performance this season to Kyle Walker's, which leads us into our next segment, next hot Kopic.
To Gabriel, lad.
Yeah. I mean, we'll start on the Bernardo Silva quotes because they were explosive, right? He said to TNT yesterday, and do you know what? When I first saw these quotes, I thought, look, someone's made up some quotes that Bernardo Silva said. But the whole world has now gone with these quotes this morning, and it's the following. Bernardo Silva speaking to TNT yesterday, and obviously this comes off the back of an emotionally charged game. He's probably still got the adrenaline pumping around him. He says, Liverpool have already won a Premier League, Arsenal haven't. Liverpool have won a Champions League, Arsenal haven't. Mm-hmm. Liverpool always faced us face to face to try and win the games. So by this perspective, the games against Arsenal haven't been like the ones we've had and will have against Liverpool. Now, I don't like Bernardo Silva.
No one does.
I think it's very
fantastic footballer.
That. Great footballer, but as a person, I think
it's not even as a player. He just doesn't like us, and we don't like him.
But the person thing is, you know, him singing. He was videoed singing a very nasty song about Liverpool. He didn't clap during the Guard of Honour. Yeah. We had 7 Guard of Honours that season, by the way, which is a record. We won it the earliest out of anyone. And he quite coincidentally at the time had 2 cups of coffee, and you can't clap when you've got 2 cups of coffee, can you? So we don't like him, right? We don't like him at all. But for him to single out Liverpool, right, this shows you how much maybe Arsenal have rattled him in the way that they come and they try and get that draw. And I think, look, what he's saying is true, right? Liverpool have won the Prem, Liverpool have won the Champions League, and our games against City, it was very rarely a 0-0. It was 4-3 at times. It was 5-0 at times. It was 2-2. Yeah. We've had 3-1, right? There's always goals. There's always drama. I think it's a little bit unfair for him to say that, knowing that Arsenal had a man sent off in the first half. What do you expect them to do? Do you expect them to go out and try and score again when they're 2-1 up?
Probably we did that, didn't we, lad? And we lost 5-0.
Yeah, you know what I mean? But we still tried to. We had, like you say, we went sent off and we tried. And we went down swinging, struggling, gasping for air, but we were still throwing punches, right? But Arsenal fans have looked at this and gone, "You little rat." Yeah. You little rat. So how do you look at it? Because what he's saying is facts, but obviously Arsenal fans are really going to hate these quotes.
Bro, F him. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sorry, lads. You're a fantastic footballer, bro, but all you do is just talk a load of smoke to other teams, you know, lad, and it does mean nothing. Yes, he's right. Liverpool games were more entertaining, but what does he expect them to do when the 10 men down and it's the Etihad, right? They can't exactly go and play expansive football because they'll lose the game and they're winning. So they're going to do everything they can to keep hold of it. It's not exciting. It's not good to watch. It's horrible to play against. I totally understand why Bernardo Silva is frustrated. But just the smoke that he talks about other teams, I just can't get over it.
It is proper smoke. It's just smoky settings.
I can't, like, he's just a normal person like me or you, lad, do you know what I mean? And, like, we're polarising characters sometimes. People might not like us, some people might. So it's just one of them, lad. If he can say that, I can say F you, bro. You know what I mean? Like, it's fine, lads. You know what I mean? I'm not.
Because he's bigging us up. He is bigging us up, saying, why, like, Liverpool come and try it. I think there is a deep respect there because he goes, well, Liverpool come and try and beat us. They might not always do it, but we like playing against them. It's there. The rivalry's there. And obviously this comes. The quality
was better, lad. I'm not, like, no disrespect to Arsenal. The Liverpool team and the Man City team of 3-4 years ago were much better teams than the teams you're currently seeing right now.
I'll go on record and say this. I think, personally, if I'm picking a team for a final, I'm picking Virgil and Konate over Gabriel and Saliba still. I'm still doing it. I'm not taking away anything those two have achieved. Sensational defenders. And Gabriel, how many goals he scores? I think it's 16 in the last 4 years. Mad. Incredible. But I still think Konate and Virgil are the best.
Yeah, it's because they've won stuff, right?
Yeah,
they
and
have.
it backs it up.
So if you can't say, I want these in the final when they haven't done anything in the final yet, it's as simple as that, really. They just need to win a cup.
But ask me that in 5 years. Obviously, it's
he's just taking
Gabriel
a dig
and
at
Saliba.
them, he's taking a dig at them, and it's even more disrespectful because he hates us, and he's using us as an example of shining light to be like, look, I hate these, and they're still better than you. It's just the most disrespectful thing ever, lad. You cheeky kid. And you drew. You didn't even win, you know. You drew.
But he's saying that because the last 2 games have been draws at the Etihad, right? And I mean, the second half, they didn't have any shots.
24 shots to
24 shots.
82% possession, lad.
You've got to put it into context, them stats.
Like
but the stats are the stats.
When we had 9 men, you know what I mean?
But at the same time, like, wow.
Yeah.
Like, it's...
Also, we're going to talk about the yellow card, the Trossard thing, innit?
Yeah, because we were speaking to some AFTV guys downstairs.
They're fuming.
By the way, Timber and Kai Havertz failed to complete any of their passes in the whole game.
Can't be right.
It's true.
Not one single pass. That cannot be correct, lad.
Timber and Havertz became two players that didn't complete a pass.
How in the world are you only having 5 passes in a 90-minute football game?
Crazy, right?
That is mad. Even in 45 minutes, you can have more passes.
Yeah.
What?
Even in 10 minutes, you might get more than that. But
so that's why Bernardo Silva.
yeah, so he's going, well, they sat back, but listen, man, it was a strange old game, and I think the first Trossard yellow is a yellow.
Which one was that?
The initial one is a yellow.
Definitely.
And then obviously he barges into Bernardo. Fair play.
Him, lad.
It's a foul. It's a foul.
Yeah.
But fair play.
Yeah.
Go on,
same badge, yeah.
Give him one. That's a borderline yellow in itself, and then you kick the ball away.
Not just kick it away though. You sky it, lad.
Yeah.
It's going out of the stadium away. It's like, I am frustrated in this decision.
Hold
Bang.
That.
Yeah.
And again, we're
Clear
going to
descent.
separate the different instances, but that's 3 yellow cards in my opinion.
Yeah.
The first yellow, the second foul on Bernardo, and then kicked the ball away.
He would have just got away with that foul. I think
maybe if he didn't kick it away, he might have. He would have said one more, and you really are off. But then he kicked the ball away. Right,
it's silly it's ill discipline, lad.
Stupid.
I totally get why Arsenal fans are like, why is this happening, right? Because we're going to talk about Doku in a second, when Doku should have got sent off. But you absolutely know that this has already happened to Declan Rice, lad. So don't do it again. You're getting paid millions of quid, lad. Don't be stupid.
Yeah.
Why have you kicked that ball away? And this is why, honestly, Arsenal are at their worst when they're emotional, lad. They consistently mess up when they're emotional. And
they were 2-1 up.
They did it at Anfield with Xhaka. They did it at Aston Villa when they could have won the league, and they've done it again yesterday against City because they're too emotional. They need to chill out, lad, and focus. I don't know what they're doing, lad.
I mean, we can all sit here and say Mike Oliver, and I agree, by the way, all the Arsenal fans that are questioning his integrity as a Premier League referee who's taken money from the UAE, who is the head of the UAE is the owner of Man City. Michael Oliver should not referee in the Premier League.
I agree with this.
Don't worry about should he never ref Arsenal again. He should never referee in the Premier League. Once you've taken money from them, you can't. Your integrity's gone, mate. You can't come back and try and act like
you got no credibility
I'm the
anymore.
best ref. No, you
got no credibility.
You should not referee. If you want that, go over there and ref there every week. You get loads of dough.
Every single one of your decitions now is under the microscope because you lack integrity.
100%. And this is and
they're right downstairs fuming about that. They're right
to fume about it, right? Because he was the same guy that didn't give us the penalty against Man City last season, didn't send Kovacic off at the Emirates last season. 100%, I agree with every Arsenal fan when they're criticising Mike Oliver. We were doing that last year and got told we were crazy, by the way.
It opens the door to too many questions that don't need to be there, lads.
And there's too many coincidences in City's favour where you go, hang on, something needs to be questioned here. That's one thing.
Silly.
But Trossard should have been sent off.
I agree.
Doku should have got a yellow card.
I agree.
Haaland probably should have got a yellow card as well.
Yeah.
You can still question it, but also go... And actually, for Arsenal's first goal, he said this to Walker, dragged him well out of position, right? So he's not in the right back position or in the right position that he would like to be in.
Them out, lads,
Really 25 yards over. And then he's allowed Arsenal to take the free kick. Quickly.
After they're on the floor.
Yes.
Dying.
So again... That's the wrong decision again. Arsenal were a bit cheeky. They are learning the dark arts as well.
Yeah.
That's what John Stone said. He said they're not masters at it, but trust me, and I trust him because he's played against them on the pitch in the last 3 years. He goes, they are learning the dark arts. They waste the time. They kick the ball away. They're physical. You saw straight away they were trying to foul instantly.
Yeah, have it straight away. Body
Rodri, hold that. So they're getting better at the dark arts, which does win you more things. So it is what it is. But at the same time, I agree with Arsenal fans. Michael Oliver shouldn't have reffed that game.
Lacks integrity now.
The integrity, you're bringing in the reputation of the sport by allowing this to happen.
But never be
Trossard should have got sent off. It was stupid. Don't tell me he shouldn't. Stupid. A minute before the half ends as well, where you're about to go in and set up for the second half, 11 players. Because he did that, guess what? Saka, you're off now.
Ill-disciplined.
And now we ain't got no strikers. Yeah. So we're in a 10 formation. Or a 9, sorry. It's keeper, 9 defenders.
The only way going forward now for Michael Oliver, in my opinion, is either he doesn't referee the games, or Man City and Arsenal, or Liverpool. He's just not allowed to be. Or he's not allowed to referee a Man City game at all.
Right, listen, that was an emotional one, right? It got us in the mood to debate. The next one that we are going to speak about, and this is now your official match preview for Liverpool versus West Ham in the Carabao Cup. And we are the current holders of this competition as well, Doyle. So smash that like button, get your comments in, your lineup predictions and your score predictions on this one. I would like to do a lineup prediction with you. Right, we played West Ham in the Carabao Cup at home last year. We won 5-1. They haven't started the season well at all, so they've got a point to prove. They're going to put out a strong team. They're going to want to at least have some kind of cup run. And this is a tough game for Liverpool, right? At home to a team like West Ham, it's a tough game. Yeah. Let's do a joint lineup prediction then, because I think the people at home will probably expect some changes to the lineup, but at the same time, you still want to go through and win and, you know, get to Wembley. That's what it's all about. Kelleher in goal.
Yeah.
Connor Bradley at right back.
Yeah.
Cool?
Yeah.
Jarro Quansah and Virgil van Dijk.
Yeah.
Robbo.
No,
or Tsimikas.
Yeah.
Okay, so already in that defence from the Premier League, you're changing 3, which is a big
maybe Robbo to add some more stability, but then I'd put Quansah on his side and put Virgil on the other side next to Connor, so they've both got a senior player next to him guarding each other. Do you get what I'm saying?
Tsimikas or Robbo, let us know in the chat. The midfield. I mean, you could even change the whole formation if you wanted and bring Endo in as the pivot.
I would bring Endo in.
And then you could have maybe Curtis and Dom or Maka. Push him up. Let's try and be realistic though, because I don't think Arne Slot sees Maka as a 10.
Maybe he doesn't.
Or an 8. He sees him as a double pivot, a 6 to 8.
Yeah.
I would like Endo to start. That's not from an emotional standpoint, because I just think he's a great player and he deserves a couple more chances. And it just gives Ryan a rest. We've got Wolves away on Saturday. So I would go Endo. I'd love Curtis Jones to start. I think it's perfect for him to start. If Harvey Elliott was fit, I'd play Harvey.
So would I, lad. It's a shame
gutted
about
for
that
him.
Kid.
So what's the midfield? Endo,
Maka, Curtis.
All right. I like it. And then up front, Darwin Nunez.
Yeah.
Must start this game for me.
Just get his confidence back up.
Federico Chiesa starts this at right wing.
Do you reckon?
Please. I don't reckon. I think he will.
I think Salah will start. He'll bring him on. Similar, I think Gakpo will start on the left wing.
I want to see Chiesa from the start though.
So do I,
but
he's not ready yet, I don't think.
He's not really?
Yeah. Don't think he is.
Interesting, because I think he's ready. And then Gakpo on the left.
Yeah. Gakpo needs to get consistent games.
I agree. I think Gakpo could have a really good game. Score a couple.
He was phenomenal in the internationals. He's phenomenal. Like, I do not want to lose the player that we have in Gakpo. I really don't, and I don't want to stick him in centre forward. He needs to be a left winger. So give him his chance to play left wing in these games. This is his opportunity. He'll smoke them.
Gakpo, Nunez, and Salah. You're going with. I'll go with Chiesa on that right hand side. I think. That's the beauty of having 6 attackers. You really can switch it up. You can adapt to whoever you're playing against. I mean, there's even a shout, to maybe even bring in some more players. I think for this game, though, with it being such a strong team, a Premier League team, I'd go with that team that we've just spoken about. West Ham, I mean...
Be interesting to see how he values these English Cups, to be quite honest with you.
Because we haven't seen him in a cup yet. Well, apart from the Champions League, but it'd be interesting.
He's going to value the Champions League, lad. Obviously.
I don't think he'll be allowed to not value this cup, right? The way that Klopp left the team was very much, I've left you a team for the league, I've left you a team for the Champions League, I've left you a team for both cups as well. If we look at West Ham's form recently, Doyle, I mean, it's pretty poor. If you're Nicky Hawkins right now, you're not happy at all. It was a loss at home to Palace on the first day of the season. Sorry, Aston Villa. They did win away at Palace 2-0, which was a great result. They did get through the first round of the Cup at home to Bournemouth. Again, really unlucky Bournemouth were last minute. There was maybe a handball in that. Lost to Man City at home 3-1, about right. Got a draw away at Fulham, last minute goal. And then they did lose 3-0 at home. So they're coming into this game not with any hope, really. But Kudus, Bowen, Somerville, who scored the winner against us for Leeds a couple of years ago. Yeah. They've still got players that can really hurt us. So the complacency cannot come into this whatsoever. We've started well. They haven't. You win this game. You set yourself up for the fourth round where hopefully you get a bit of an easier draw. But for 1 second, we cannot underestimate West Ham on this.
We have to score the first goal.
Get that first goal.
It's annoying. You can't let them score straight away again, lad. It just seems like there's a... It's been like this for like 2 years, brother. We need to concede to focus and snap up to it. And it's just like, I can't bother with that, lad. That's not what Arne Slot's team is. It's not about reacting. It's about proactively taking control of the game from the very first minute and constructing it in the way you want it to be. And that's what we've got to see. We've seen it in the first few games. But then we've had a little setback in the AC Milan game and the Bournemouth game. I know it was offside, but it was very close to being onside, you know what I mean? So, yeah, just get the first bloody goal, lad. Please.
Just get that first goal. Just on this game, Slot, this is an article from The Echo, and this is Ian Doyle, who's a very trusted name at Liverpool in terms of, getting things right. He thinks that... Again, he could go for a Curtis Jones. He could go for Wataru Endo. Tyler Morton's there as well, who could play in the midfield. I'd be more than happy to see him. Trey Anoyi, the 70-year-old, he could be involved as well. Obviously, Elliott's out with that fractured foot. He also goes on to say that it would seem Jota and in particular Gakpo would be favoured to line up against the Hammers, although Nunez would benefit from another run-out. I agree. And then he says the time may have come for Chiesa to start. And I think you start Chiesa, and then if you need Salah, bring him on. But I think the confidence that builds up in Chiesa, like Chiesa will be more happy to start versus Salah will be more upset not to start. I think you go with Chiesa, you bed him in, under the lights at Anfield. He's desperate to score a goal.
This is another thing, right? So with Salah getting a little bit older, do you have to rest him more now going into the season?
That's why we bought Chiesa, so Salah can play less games.
Is that why
and played for longer?
Yeah, that might be what it is. Yeah.
Right, so let us know in the chat. Do you play Salah? Do you play Chiesa? Do you play Nunez through the middle? What does your midfield look like? I'm going to be at the game. We'll obviously be doing fan cams after the game. So if you are at the game, let us know. Come over and have a chat. We love speaking to you guys being there on the game. Saturday. It's just, I can never take it for granted. Having people come over and want pictures or speak to us after the game. It never gets old. So thank you. We appreciate it. Score predictions then. Because this one goes straight to penalties, by the way, if there's a draw.
3-0 Liverpool.
3-0?
Yeah.
I'll go...
We conceded one goal.
I'll go 4-1.
Or 2 goals. 2 goals all season.
Yeah, we've only conceded 2
That's brilliant, lad.
Production saying no one takes pics of you, stop lying.
Honestly.
It happened a few times on Saturday,
lad, it happens all the time. I walk out of the studio.
Come out the toilet. AGT, can I have a picture? Yeah, I'm just doing a piss, mate.
I had a funny one. I was with my sister the other day, walking down the street, and I was just having a serious conversation as well, and these kids pulled up there in a Mercedes, lad, and they go, "Are you that Liverpool guy, bruv?" And I go, yeah. And they go, "F Liverpool, bruv, get out here." Nice, and then just screeched off, lad. And like, lad, yeah, just with me.
And your sister's going, "So this is your job, is it?"
Yeah, exactly.
Get abused.
Exactly. I'm like, yeah, it is. Yeah. Some people are nice. Most people are nice.
Most people are great.
Sometimes they're not.
But we love speaking to you guys after the game. So if you are at the game, under the lights, probably going to be quite a cold night, rainy at Anfield on Wednesday. I'm going 4-1. He's going 3-0. What is your lineup prediction? What is your score prediction? Let us know in the chat. And make sure you like this video. Like I said, by the time this video goes out, hopefully we've got to 46k. But right now, we are still 5. We're 5 subscribers away from 46k. So let's get it done.
Tell your mates. You know what I mean?
This has been a great video. I'll be honest with you, it's been juicy. Right? And we'll be back next week with more of the same. But until then, smash that like button, get your comments in, and we'll see you soon. All the best.
In a bit.